Goodness. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Grace Period. My name is Lauren Kress. I am the owner of Lauren Liz Photo. I have with me my amazing co-hosts, Tia Green of Leave It PR and Saber TV. I have actually no idea where it looks like you are, so I'm just like pointing in random directions. To me, you're here. And then Diana Baines, owner of Baines Creative Design. Hi, ladies. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Monday.
Just
Goodness.
FYI, I found wine. So yay.
Well, I just have nice tea because it's been one of those days. So I'm trying to soothe away.
Yay.
And I'm just trying to catch up on water.
Oh, you're
My
so
lovely
good.
cup.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I
That
love
was
that.
our road trip cup.
Yes.
We
Very
went on a
good.
road trip to take Bella to
Meet with
spend
my
a weekend with her parents. And so that was our, we got matching tumblers.
Oh, I love that.
Because, because why not commemorate a road trip with matching tumblers?
Yeah. I mean, this makes you drink all of that.
I know.
It
it's true.
does.
I need to be drinking more water. My goodness.
Gotta stay hydrated during this time. I usually have a cup or a glass of water right next to my computer. So I have to finish just every hour I'm looking, I'm like, is it done yet?
Oh, that's such a good idea.
But this has been here since 5 o'clock and it's 7 something. So
Just chug it.
not done yet.
I'm more inclined to drink coffee or tea. I'm just not so good at just drinking water.
Hey, but it's so interesting because with coffee dehydrates you. So I could drink coffee all day long. And then I'll feel like all jittery and
Yeah.
hydrated.
But coffee comforts me. It's just like my go-to if I want to feel comforted. I have a cup of coffee and sit on the couch.
So I don't know. I have not deeply researched this. However, like a Google thing last night, Mark and I were trying to find the answer to a question, and we came across this thing about how decaf coffee actually does not dehydrate you because it doesn't have the caffeine.
Mhm.
So it's caffeinated coffee is dehydrating, but decaf is not, supposedly. But I would not run with that and say stop drinking water and drink decaf coffee. Just saying it's not as dehydrating. So that's nice.
Yeah.
But I got
have
new
been
Nespresso
drinking.
pods. And so now
Saw that on Instagram.
Yes, I'm living on
it.
iced oat milk lattes right now. They're so good.
I need to get some more from my Nespresso machine.
So since we're talking about plant-based milk,
Oh, yes.
that's kicking off our Earth Day lineup.
I like that. Yeah. Oat milk birthday.
Yes.
I love
my
almond
goodness.
milk. I mean, I found this amazing brand called Elmhurst. You might know Elmhurst.
Yes.
Have you heard?
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
And you can get them to direct ship to your house because it's all shelf
Yes.
stable.
Because it's what?
It's really fantastic. It doesn't have all the extra stuff in it. It's just it's like almonds and water, or
And that's it.
cashews and water, or whatever.
Or oat and water.
Yes. I mean, it's really great. Yeah.
So that's my new milk.
Cool. Awesome. Are you
I've been
ordering
drinking
them
this.
online, or are you finding it at the store?
So there's a local farmer out here because we're still not going into the stores. We're just supporting the local farmers. And
Yay.
it's Serene Green. They're right here in Sac Harbor, and they have this milk. And I actually found out about this milk through them because I'm like, I need almond milk because I can't drink regular whole milk. I'm not gonna tell why. I mean, you guys aren't here. It's not smell-o-vision, so you'll know why. So
No, I mean, Diana and I are both super lactose intolerant too. So
okay, good. So we should not be having anything during our next trips. So no, but I fell in love with it. I fell in love with this milk, and this is my go-to.
Nice.
I think
So do you find that you can just drink a glass of almond milk, or like you would regular milk, or do you I only really use it for cooking or cereal or coffee or something. I just can't drink a glass of almond milk or any kind of non-dairy milk because I don't know. I just have too much of a memory of drinking milk as a kid, and it is a different taste. So I'm I can't do it.
I've been drinking this milk just a little bit.
Yeah.
I made brownies last night with 5 ingredients.
Really? Nice.
It was good. It was really chocolatey. I put too much cocoa. I put too much cocoa.
That's the
cocoa.
I loved it. Just did
Is
too
there
much.
is there a thing as too much cocoa?
For me, it is. Like I had a sugar rush. I was like, whoa. But it was great, you know? So I had that with my almond milk and it was perfect. It paired really well. Just a little bite.
Nice.
Yeah. You really need to do like one of these shows with you cooking something, because
Yes.
I still to this, we talked about it Saturday, but I did not know you went to culinary school. That is so cool.
What in the world?
I didn't know.
Little things about Tia people find out later on in life.
Yeah.
It's like one of the many chapters of Tia.
That's so awesome.
But no, it's yeah, it was really actually one of the girls from what's it called? Cares for Humanity. No, the product shoot that you did, Lauren, which the girls loved it. They screamed.
Oh, Foundry.
Yeah, they screamed looking at the phone. Oh my God! Like they did all that for Zooming. And I'm like, oh, I should have filmed it for you. It was the cutest thing ever. They're like, we love it.
They messaged me on Instagram and said they were really excited. I was like, oh, yay.
Awesome.
Yeah, they loved it. Lauren and their moms reached. They loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And they've been sharing it. And one of the girls, Maya, I love her. Well, I love all of them, but she loves to bake too. So now we're like sharing recipes. So she's the one that got me to make the brownies, because I was gonna make like an apple tart. You remember? I was like, I'm gonna do an apple tart, blah blah blah. And it just, I was like, oh, you know what? She's talking about brownies. I'm gonna try to make brownies with 5 ingredients. So I made mine. I have to send her a photo. Now she's making cinnamon buns, homemade, tonight.
Oh my goodness. Nice.
So she's my baking buddy. She's keeping me on my toes.
That's awesome.
And she's only 14.
Well, hey, if you got a skill,
Yeah, I
goes
know.
up early.
I know.
I was not baking anything that wasn't part of a box mix at 14, so so that's
I don't
impressive.
think either, except Christmas cookies. That was about all I could tackle.
Oh
But
my
what
goodness.
about you, Lauren, this weekend with Makers Monday? I remember it. You talk about getting masks. Did you pick up masks?
So I did make masks a couple of weeks ago. I have not done it again, although Mark helped me find some new, like, you know, we were kind of unpacking things in the, he was going through the garage. He was making order out of chaos and found some material. And he was like, oh, well, this would be good for masks. So I have new material to make masks. Right now I am at my grandmother's. She fell.
There's a
and
very
hurt
happy bird.
I know the birds are on point out here, so I'm sorry if they're very loud.
I love it. I feel like Sleeping Beauty or
Yeah.
Cinderella.
Yes,
One
I'm
of the two.
outside. I'm at my grandmother's house. She fell and hurt her shoulder really badly, so I'm gonna be taking her to the orthopedist in the morning. But anyways, so I'm not making masks, but I did. I guess my making as of late has been working on my website. I finally made myself do it, so I got that revamped, and it was a massive labor of like making choices between photos, and I've been wanting to for like almost 2 years. So I was really glad to finally do that. And my other big thing has been wanting to figure out a plan for our yard. The previous owner of our house, you know, was an older man, and he didn't really want to do a bunch with the yard, but we have a really big front yard. We have a gorgeous, huge backyard that is on water. So it just is like all of this untapped potential. And my aunt, what used to be a landscape designer back in the day. And so, I sent her a Marco Polo, like talking about our yards and like the front yard, backyard, and what it's like, I just don't know what all can really be done, because I know that there are certain things you shouldn't do with like trees and shade and all that. So she just sent me like this whole plan of attack for things that I could do, you know, and start chipping away at. That's exactly what I needed. I just needed like marching orders, like that I could just start
That's
chipping away at.
awesome.
That's going
Cool.
to be my new project, other than making some math.
What's step one? I'm curious.
Hang on. I have to look at it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I just saw the general and I was like, yay, thank you. So the first thing was she's asking me, this is questions. And it's like, do I currently have an irrigation system? I have no idea. How much? Oh, never mind. So this is not a plan yet. This is
Questions for the plan.
questions for the plan.
Got
Okay.
it.
She has the prettiest handwriting. I just thought it was a plan. So it's questions because she's thorough. So I don't know yet.
Well, definitely keep us in the loop on that one.
I will. I'm
Sounds like
excited.
fun.
Getting into the earth.
Yeah, that's
Diving
fun.
deep.
We did tons of like yard projects when I was growing up. My dad like grew up on a farm. He's always been really like a green thumb. When we lived in Nevada, growing up was like having vegetable gardens and doing things in the yard. And I feel confident I could probably get back into it if I had some direction.
Well, I mean, the weather's been, I mean, other than the couple of storms we've had, it's just been beautiful out. Like,
Yeah.
I think we spent most of Saturday outside.
You've been
It was
doing some outdoor things.
Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of things in the garage with the door open, but I worked with a lot of wood this weekend.
Ooh.
You know, we're trying to refinish a swing that was given to my mother-in-law from her husband before he passed, my father-in-law. And before she was moved out of her house, we took it so that it was, you know, in safekeeping so that we could refinish it. And we're doing a new bench and restaining the whole thing. Louis must have spent half the afternoon sanding it down. And I'm working on the staining, and then we're going to present it to our Mother's Day. So it's the post,
That's
the original post
beautiful.
from my father-in-law, and then a new like swing bench from us. So all
Oh,
finished.
Wow.
So we
that's so sweet.
working on that. It's a little it's a labor of love. It's another labor of love because you know it was pretty old, but we're breathing new life into it.
That's so
That's
sweet.
beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a very meaningful gift. So yeah, we're working on that for the next couple of weeks. And I sent you pictures. I think, did I send it to you too, Tia? The jewelry shelf that I made?
No.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to send. Yes, you have to send them.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a long project, but it was just steps. But
I wonder if I can pull them up on the
pretty. It's a pretty thing in the bathroom now.
Yeah, because I remember we talked about it
Yeah.
last week and
I
just
posted
seeing the
it on my
transition.
Instagram, but yesterday afternoon, so it's probably still on there. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Oh, that's awesome, Diana.
Isn't it beautiful?
Simple, but it was, I mean, just 2 pieces of 2x4s and, you know, bringing them together at a join, like an angle, and then staining it and putting some hardware in it. And
I love that it also has like a smaller rod for earrings and things. Like, look at that.
Hanging earrings.
That looks like something you would buy at the store. Like,
yeah, and it would, you could, and it would probably be plastic, and I wanted wood. So
yeah. Oh, I love it.
I love it. That's all natural.
Yeah,
Like you're
I
upcycling.
feel like that rustic, you know, but some, you know, fairly modern kind of look. So
yeah,
I told Louis, I was like, we're gonna be doing a lot more woodworking type projects. So I just like stain. I just love a good coat of stain. So yeah.
Now I know if I ever work up the courage to do something like that, I can just be like, Diana, walk me through this. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For sure. So
what about you, Tia? What have you been up to?
Baking. I'm just kidding. I mean, this past weekend, I just been writing and creating and getting ready for the phase of you guys opening up in Georgia for clients. So just writing and campaigning, and we have clients out west in Montana, and we're getting ready to release a mental health awareness campaign for them again. So, and it's for first responders. We're actually putting together a wilderness retreat, and we're selecting 6 first responders in metropolitan cities, and we're going to be paying for them to go to into the woods with some counselors and diving deep within themselves, and just finding solitude with them. So I've been working a lot on
Wow.
that this weekend.
Wow.
That's
And
awesome.
and you said you're working up plans for these businesses that you work with in Georgia for the reopening. I mean, I wouldn't
Yes.
know where to start. What does that even look like?
So depending on what type of business you have. So for instance, if you're a restaurant, I'm advising clients to continue to stay takeout and curbside due to the reason of, I believe, in my opinion, that it's too soon to open up any major businesses for people to come in, regardless if it's 2, 5, 10, 11, 13, 15, 20. Because someone could be a carrier and not know it and still give it to somebody. So for a restaurant, I'm telling all of my clients to just continue to curbside and take out. But one of the client I have in particular, they were closed during this time because they wanted to spend more time with their family.
Right.
So now we're reopening up next week, and they are listening. We're just doing takeout and curbside, a very limited menu, as well as May is National Nurses Month. It's their 200th year anniversary for that community. So we are creating a campaign to deliver lunches to nurses in the local area for the whole month. So
Wow.
we're adding that into the mix too.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But if you're, for instance, if you're a salon, or like we talked about salons before, hairdressers,
Yeah.
I would not open the doors, but if you do feel confident enough, and if it's just you, have one client at a time. I would bring on one client a day. I know that might hurt, but I would still bring in one client a day. You clean, bring them in, mask it up. Ask them, how long have you been in, and be honest with me, because it's not only your well-being, but it's also mine and clients. So
Right.
that is something to think about with shop. And I know some stores are still doing grab and go, like clothing stores doing the same thing. And again, I advise a couple of my partner Dems that are clothing stores to do the same, like just continue your online store and then just like make a pickup there. Don't let them come in yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
with product shots like you, Lauren, people can mail it to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've
Yeah.
been working on some ideas.
What was that?
Well, I've been giving her some ideas.
Yes. Diana's
for,
been
product photography, mock-up kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling her for even with a shoot that has a creative brief and a lot of guidelines, there are still so many different ways to execute that. And I heard a photographer once say that, like, I don't even know who said this, and I wish I did, because when I heard it, I was like, that is the best way to describe it, is that one photo of something, there are 1,000 decisions that go into how that photo, like the photo that you're looking at was 1,000 different decisions about the light, the composition, the editing. There's so much that goes into that.
I know you.
So,
I said, I feel you, because it's the same way with design. There's this
Right. Oh
color,
my
there's that
goodness.
font, there's, it could be huge.
right. So even saying, okay, well, this is the brief, these are the guidelines, this is the, branding, there's still so many different ways you could do it. So to not have a brief or guidelines, too
That's
many
where you put
choices.
in
So I was like,
artistic
I
licenses.
just need, right. It's too much artistic license. So I'm like, okay, Diana, just give me, like, what are some things that would be useful to you? So even saying, like, okay, some stock shots that have a laptop and like light and dark surfaces.
Mhm.
And, I always love shooting for negative space because I like shooting for design and editorial use. So yeah, for her to kind of give me some ideas on, here's some things that would be useful for me, I was like, okay, good. I need some parameters to run around in, not just the entire world.
Well, I may have someone for you. One of my clients, like I told her, like I'm not a fan of stock if it's not really going with your brand, especially your
yeah.
audience. Because you'll find so many photos, just say like your target audience is like 50 and up or 45 and up. There's not a lot of photos that way that's taking in a certain light. So, and that's the way that you speak to your audience, especially with any digital marketing campaign, from websites to newsletters to any social media channels. It's all about who that market is and who they resonate with. So that's what's lacking, Lauren, is having someone like an old, like even if someone looking out the window being like 50 years old, and just capturing that person, especially during this time, because I've been looking for last week, I forgot to tell you about this. It took like Lizzie and I looked for 2 hours and we're like, we can't find anything. And so we just went with somebody that was in their 30s and it didn't match. Well, it is her audience too, but her main audience is like 45 and up.
Right.
So that was the challenge last week. That
Yeah,
was
and I think
huge
people don't
challenge.
realize that even if you're like, you don't have to be some giant, corporation to organize a shoot to create your own custom stock imagery. If you already have like a brand sort of built out, you understand, you have a specific design aesthetic, you know what your mission and your values and your goals are, all those things, you can work with a photographer and say, okay, well, this is our audience and we need things for our website, for our marketing materials that reflect that this is the person who needs to see themselves in our message. Mm-hmm. That's totally doable. You have to work with a commercial and brand or a branding photographer to have those conversations. So
mm-hmm.
Totally.
And you're not always going to be able to find the photography that, reflects some of your brand colors. So having that is also another custom, whether it's something red in the far background, maybe not in, right up close, or somebody wearing a specific color that reflects your brand. I mean, those are some of the customizations that you can get with brand photography.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do a lot of work for Shutterstock Custom, which is sort of Shutterstock's agency division. And so, Synovus Bank, for example, goes through Shutterstock Custom and has me shoot things, and their brief will say, okay, well, in these scenes, we want pops of red because red is a brand color for them. And it's a very specific red. And those are things that, they have a guideline for, because again, it's not just the photo of the family in the living room, but there's that photo with the family in the living room. And it just happens to be that mom is drinking from that red mug. And that's that little.
No, that color triggers the memory of brand. And
right.
So that's how it works.
I'm so with you on that.
I know you are.
All the way. I'm like, here, I already have ideas, but I'm not going to say it out loud yet. It's like, it's like downloading. And it's going to come out after this call. Sorry, you guys can't know what's happening yet. No, but I really love that because who we're interviewing on Thursday is my really good friend, Sarah, and she's a farmer and she's all about being rooted. And I'm excited because everything we're talking about now, this is something that we can share with her too.
Great.
Because it's being challenged, being a farmer at this time and like how you could continue to do things, especially during this time. And since, again, I keep saying Earth Day because I'm so like, I love our earth. This is where we live. But having her come on board and talking about like how to nourish our backyard, especially in the South, because she's in the South. So she's gonna be giving insight of like what can be grown and the sunlight and what
great.
Have. Not knowing what thrives in areas like this.
And, seriously. I mean, I know that there is a ton of farmland in Georgia, but you always sort of think about, like the Georgia red clay and do things grow in that? And I don't know. I think it's just not something that we necessarily grow up with of, growing things in our yards. And when I did, I mean, I kind of did, but it wasn't in Georgia. It was in a lot of other states. And so, it can feel very daunting. So I think that's great to have someone who could be like, no, these are these very easy to implement things. I know that they exist. So it'd be great to just be like, here, information. Yeah. Information is power.
And it's just something so gratifying about growing something yourself and using those things in your kitchen or, in your house. And we've tried to grow fruits and vegetables, but it just never works out. I do best with herbs. And those are something I use a lot anyway. So we started that a couple of weeks ago.
I would love to be able to grow tomatoes and zucchini. Yeah, I love sorry, my grandma's dog. I love tomatoes and I love zucchini, and I would love to grow those.
Yes.
Or cucumbers.
The bugs and the birds love those darn tomatoes.
I would love to grow kale and cabbages and tomatoes. And Lyle and I talked about, we want to have a farm. Like we've been talking about that lately, like really going into having a farm, because that's something
cool.
Yeah, like I like knowing where our food is now, like especially like moving out here, I've learned so much about my adult life. Like chapter 33. What are you gonna want for Dr. Dessert? Well, I've learned that I really like fresh finds from, farm to table, dock to dish, like reading the ingredients on your box to see like, can I actually make this? And if I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
That's like
Did
my
you say
whole
dock to dish?
Yeah.
I have never heard that. I love that. That totally makes sense. Dock to dish.
Dock to dish, but I've been calling it dock to door because a lot of the fishermen out here are like delivering locally caught fresh fish to your door.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is.
Yeah, so we got to make an order tonight.
here.
I got to email people about it, but I'm good. So good.
Oh
One more
my
time. It's so
goodness.
good. And you can taste the freshness and you know it's from the ocean.
Taste that sea.
That was my
Oh,
vitamin C.
I mean, that's a thing that we, being in the metro Atlanta area, Mark and I will be talking about like, well, there are kind of good and bad places to get seafood because when you're so far away from the coast, you really need to be thinking about that. And, so.
Well, I will
so
say
nice that you're
this.
right there.
Well, I will say this with Haskell Seafood, they're able to ship to you like the next day. Like they will make sure it's cooled and everything. And that's something that they really want to push because they've been hiring so many fishermen during this time. So they're having an influx of fish. And, a lot of the restaurants aren't as active like they used to be.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're looking for ways of mailing it. And I mean, they talked about it with me on the show for Saving the Moment to Tia and Friends in December, like in 2018. It was already talked about them shipping, so I could ship it to my in-laws if I wanted to in South Carolina, and they'll have it like the next day.
Oh wow!
Wow.
But so you could have that opportunity, and his pricing is really well. It's not that everyone thinks it's so expensive, but you really look into like cutting out that middleman. No offense to FedEx and UPS, but cutting out that middleman and letting them handle it.
Yeah.
You never know what you might find.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you too.
Very cool.
Oh my goodness. Well, it sounds like everyone is staying busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For
Well,
sure.
What does the week ahead look like?
Goodness.
I know.
Diana?
Just
Yeah,
putting y'all on the spot.
I got a lot of work ahead of me, but just trying to keep up, honestly. But beautiful weather. It's nice to be able to just take breaks and walk outside, working from home and watching the kids play. So that's nice. But other than that, just work and work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it's just I've been doing a lot of creative writing remember we talked about in the first episode of like planning out seasonally. So I'm replanning the season of summer and replanning the season of fall in early 2021 right now. That's what I've been doing for the past couple. I started it last Thursday. I probably won't be finished until the first week of June, just to see like how everything is vibing.
Okay.
But I'm excited because it's just, as you know, Lauren, I'm a planner. So if I know this is gonna happen, it better happen.
Yeah, I know. I am too. I'm not sure what this week is gonna hold because it's gonna kind of depend on what's going on with my grandma. But I don't know. I'm feeling inspired to get some shooting going on at home. I feel like I have so far taken this time to sort of take a break from shooting. I mean, before all of this, I hadn't gone more than 3 days without a photo shoot, which is I'm very thankful for, and that is wonderful. But I was tired, so
they looked great.
Now I'm.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did a little photo shoot over the weekend with some Honest Beauty products, and just made me feel very like just to get back into it. Just I don't know, it felt really great. So
hope Jessica Alba knows.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna try to get those on Instagram tonight. I am
Tag her.
Yeah, so it just felt nice to just create,
Mhm.
So just following some creativity this week, getting re-inspired.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That creative moment. Well,
And
I'm
it's
excited.
creating for you.
Huh?
And it's just creating for you.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
the client.
I know, it's nice. I'm a tough critic though.
You're humble, Lauren. You're very
that.
humble.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Well, always wonderful to hang out with you ladies.
I know. Well, I'm really excited for Thursday, like we mentioned.
Me
We're gonna have
too.
Sarah.
We're gonna have
And
all the questions.
you guys, if you have any farming questions, anything to grow, like down south, if you're in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, anywhere southern and amazing to find, just send it to us. Ask us. Like I mentioned last week, you guys go on sabertv.com, hit live streaming, grace period. You get to see everything, feel updated, send us a note. So I'm excited. I
Yeah.
really am. It's gonna be
Fun.
fun.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
So until next time, everyone, please stay safe, savor, and just take that moment with your loved ones and count your blessings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Enjoy this time in.
Enjoy it. Give yourself some grace and have a wonderful week.
Yeah.
And we'll see you
See you
Thursday.
Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.